I'm Shauna, this is Shauna's World, and today I'm going to be taking you through what I eat in a day as a vegan bikini competitor in training. I try to drink 3 litres of water a day, which I don't find easy. I like water a lot, but it's just really fills you up. But I always start my morning with a glass of water. Taking part in a bodybuilding competition is one of my biggest goals for this year. I'm kind of putting everything into it at the moment. I'll be competing in the bikini division, and the whole thing is really out of my comfort zone. It's just not characteristic of other sports I've done. I'm not a very aesthetic person. Most of the sport I do is things like running and hiking and dabbling in things like kayaking. So this is really different, but I'm throwing myself into it. I haven't actually entered a specific competition yet because of everything that's going on and because I don't know when I'm going to be ready. But usually what happens is you kind of start building up to it and you have an off season, and then you have, say, 16 weeks of hardcore prep where you're really focused on dieting down, leaning out, and making sure your physique is like exactly where it needs to be for the competition. So I'm quite far out. I mean, I don't know when I'll compete, but I anticipate it being like late summer, early autumn, but it just depends when I'm ready. But at the moment, I'm just getting as prepped as possible, trying to re-comp. I've lost quite a bit of body fat already. I'm about 8 weeks into training, I think. Yeah, I think just coming up to the end of my 8th week. And following a really specific nutrition plan, which is at the moment quite a lot of food, so I don't have to worry too much. But I know closer to the competition, it's normal to get very, very hungry on what you have to eat to compete. So I drink decaf coffee because it's much better for my nervous system and my well-being. Oh, and I've made a mess. So on a training day, I have a high carb day, and on a rest day, I have a low carb day. Today's a training day, so it's high carb, which means I'm having porridge for breakfast, which is my favourite thing. I look forward to it so much. It's a good portion. It's a great way to start the day. And I have it with protein. I have to weigh out all my food meticulously to make sure I'm getting the exact right balance of the nutrients I need, which took a bit of adjustment at first, but now it's just commonplace and I'm really used to it. I always enjoy a big scoop of protein with my porridge. It's so good. I have this Vivo Life gingerbread stuff and it's so tasty. So I always top my porridge with almond butter and blueberries, and it's delicious. Right, so I've had an absolutely delicious breakfast, highlight of my day, but now I'm going to do my check-ins for my coach. So once a week I have to take my weight and measurements, which I actually did yesterday, but I haven't taken photos, so I have to take photos from the front, side and back so she can see my progress, and then I send them over to her, and if she has to make any tweaks to my diet or my training plan based on my progress, then she'll send that through. I'm a bit embarrassed about my awkward posing here. Posing correctly is a huge part of bodybuilding, but I haven't started the posing classes with my coach yet, so I'm just winging it and I'm so awkward. I've done my check-in this morning. I've sent all my stats to my coach. I'm really pleased with my progress this week, and looking at the photos, like, I do see a bit of an improvement, which is great, and we'll see what she says. I'm due my new training plan on Monday. So yeah, really pleased about that. And now I'm heading out for a run. I do half an hour of cardio 6 times a week, and I'm supposed to vary the cardio as much as possible to keep my body confused, but I've been running quite a lot because it's been sunny and I love running, but I should try and mix it up a bit more. But now I'm heading off to take to the hill.
is absolutely freezing, but with the sun shining, I just feel like I can run so much better and so much faster. I feel like I'm a totally solar powered human. I always touch the stone then turn around, and that's a sign that I'm doing well, because I run half an hour and it's quite hilly and the stone is 2.5k from the house, so if I run there and back it's 5k in half an hour. Just sounds quite slow, but it is a really hilly route. That was a great run. Feeling good. Back at the house, and now I'm going to make myself my next meal of the day.
So meal number 2 on a weekend generally comes after my run. I usually run in the mornings on the weekend, but during the week I have to kind of work around my work schedule and generally run at lunchtime. So my morning snack meal, second meal of the day, I have just like in the middle of the morning while I'm working, but I'm gonna make that now. Now I almost always have tofu with my second meal of the day on a bagel with some veg. I'm out of tofu, so I just found some vegan bacon in the fridge and I'm using that for my protein source, but I pretty much always have tofu. So here I have vegan bacon, tomato, rocket and half a bagel. So it's like a decent sized snack or like a small meal, and I have that every mid-morning, but yeah, usually with tofu rather than with the vegan bacon. I just wanted to speak for a second about being vegan and training for a bikini competition or a bodybuilding competition, because it wasn't something I ever really felt like was accessible to me, because when you see bodybuilders or bikini competitors, they're pretty much eating like a lot of like chicken and turkey and fish and stuff like that. And I know you can get a lot of protein as a vegan, but I didn't know if I'd be able to get the right balance. But I have a really good coach, and I think she's vegan herself, but she like offers a vegan nutrition plan and makes her plans really accessible for vegans. And I found that so useful, and I'm actually really enjoying the food I'm eating. It's a lot of tofu, I have protein supplement and tempeh, seitan, things like that. And it's definitely possible to do it. It might be harder to grow muscle as a vegan, but so far it's going well. It is obviously locked down, so my muscles aren't growing as much as they would be if I was in the gym, but I definitely feel like I'm getting stronger, and that's all on a plant-based diet. So you can definitely eat compassionately and also be a bikini competitor or a bodybuilder. I'm gonna make some lunch now and I'll show you what I'm gonna have for that. Okay, so lunchtime, what have we got here? So I've got my carb sauce, I have lentils. I usually at lunch have beans of some sort of pulses as a carb source because they also have protein. And then I've also got a very tiny bit of sweet potato here because I had lentils open, but not quite as much as I needed for my macros. So I added a bit of sweet potato, which I also had open. I've got red pepper and broccoli as my veg. And then I've also got some seitan here for my protein. It's really high protein, great for vegans. And I made that myself. So it's like super cheap to do. You just do it with wheat gluten and chickpea flour, and then you boil it up in a broth with loads of different flavors. And it's very tasty and a lovely texture. I'm also going to put a bit of hot sauce with this meal because it adds flavor and it doesn't really like have a whole lot of calories, or I literally hate saying that. I'm really not pro diet culture. I don't like diet culture. I don't like this is a lot of calories and food rules and all of this. But when you're training for a sport like bikini and bodybuilding, you have to think like that, because that's how you get the physique you need to get on stage. So yeah, I'm quite conflicted about all of that, because I think food is food and should be enjoyed. But for the sake of this sport, I do have to think a bit more in diet culture, and I'm not proud of that. That seitan is so good. The lentils are a little bit past their best, but it's fine. Okay, I'm gonna do my weight session now, and I do weights 5 times a week. I do 2 lower body, 2 upper body sessions, and 1 upper and lower body session, which is what I'm doing today. Obviously with lockdown, the gyms are shut, so I haven't trained in a gym in like over 6 weeks, I think. Oh god, that's a long time. But I ordered just some weights off the internet. They're not as heavy as I would like, particularly for legs, but they're better than nothing, and I'm just like grateful I'm able to train it all. That was a great workout. I'm feeling good. Yeah, it's hard without a gym, but I'm still getting a lot out of it, and enjoying it, and I feel like I'm making progress.
After my weight session, I have meal number 4 of the day, which is a mixture of carbs and protein. I've just started using the Shreddy Salty Caramel Protein Powder, and it is incredible. I blend it up with a banana to make a shake.
That Shreddy protein is so good. I really enjoyed my smoothie. I downed it pretty much, and it's like having ice cream. It's so good. I can't get over that that's healthy. It doesn't taste like it should be healthy, but it's so good. I've always been super loyal to Vivo Life. I've used them unanimously since I started using protein a few years ago. But this Shreddy stuff is phenomenal. So I think I'm gonna carry on having Vivo Life in my porridge in the mornings, and then Shreddy with my shake and banana in the afternoons after my workout. Perfect. All my major stuff for the day is done, so I'm just gonna have a shower. Well, I don't shower every time I exercise, because I exercise twice a day most days. So just shower at the end of the day whenever I'm smelly, deal with it. And then I'm gonna make dinner, and I'll show you what I make. I'm quite hungry, so looking forward to it. Okay, so not for eating today, but for tomorrow, I'm putting some soybeans on to soak, because I'm gonna make tofu. I tried making tofu the other day, and it was a really difficult process. I got the mixture everywhere. There was like bean pulp everywhere. And then I had the tiniest bit of tofu at the end of it. So I'm gonna try again using a different recipe. I really liked the tofu I made. It was really tasty, and I eat a lot of tofu, so it's good to make it fresh, but I hope it works out a little bit better this time than last time. I'm just putting the beans on to soak overnight, and then I'll make the tofu tomorrow. So for dinner, I'm gonna have like a vegan plant-based steak and green beans and sweet potato and sweet corn and olives as my fat sauce. So yeah, big hearty dinner. So I've got a big hearty dinner here. It looks really tasty. I said I was going to have green beans, but I've got Brussels sprouts instead because the green beans were moldy. I've got sweet potato, I've got a vegan steak, sweet corn, olives. I am looking forward to this. It's quite similar to what I eat most days. I just vary up the protein or vary up the carbs, vary up the veg, but it's all a variation on a theme. So I'm gonna end the video here because I've shown you all I've eaten today and taken you through my day, and I'm gonna relax and go to bed soon. But thank you for watching. I hope you can see from this that being a vegan, you can still have a really good diet as a bikini competitor, and that I eat plenty of food. I know, as I said, I'm a long way out from the competition. I don't know when I'll compete with everything that's going on and knowing when I'll be ready, but I'll probably be eating less closer to the time. But for now, I've got a really good diet, plenty of calories, keeping me full. And I hope you've enjoyed watching what I eat in a day as a vegan bikini competitor. And if you want to see more videos like this, let me know the kind of thing you'd want to see in the comments. And if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much for watching, and have a lovely rest of your day.